Welcome to Getting Home Sourced with G. Your one-stop shop for all things real estate. Gianno is your go-to guy with over 25 years of experience in the game, serving up the insider scoop on buying, selling, and investing in two of the hottest markets, Las Vegas, Nevada, and Cabo, Mexico. Whether you're looking to score the perfect home, seal the deal on a sale, or dive into the world of international investments, G's got the tips, tricks, and swagger to make it happen. Remember, in Nevada, the smart choice is the right choice. And when it comes to Cabo, you better go oceanside with Cabo G. If you were looking for a quiet, tranquil show about real estate, this ain't it. Gianno has this thing called passion. Let's unleash the beast. This is Welcome to Getting Home Sourced. And now your host, Gianno.
Hey, what do you say? Welcome to a live version in New York City, my hometown, with Getting Home Sourced with G. I'm your host, Gianno, and like I said, you can't beat the New York weather here, and plus the fact you can't beat New York City, folks, during the Christmas season. I mean, it is fantastic between the Christmas trees lit up in certain places in Midtown and downtown. Also, you have department stores, you have a great vibe, it's energy, it's happy times, everybody's in a great mood, and especially when you go up and down Fifth Avenue here, folks, with the stores all decked out and lit up with their Christmas decorations and their window displays, it is absolutely off the charts. But for real estate, I'm here live, as you know, as I mentioned last week, and I'll mention now, from December 15th through December 20th. So make sure that if you're in the Midtown area or Manhattan and you're coming in or surrounding areas and you're coming into the city, get a hold of me, Cabo G, 888-528-2810, or you can reach me on my Vegas G line, 702-528-2810. But for today, we're going to be NYCG. And NYCG is here on a commercial mission, but this episode, we are going to do our mailbag round, as I got a lot of people asking a lot of questions, and rightfully so. There's a lot of changes happening in the real estate market. But of course, before anything, I always want to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all those listening around the world. Greatly appreciate you stopping in and listening to Getting Home Sourced with G. And of course, you can always get a hold of me email as well, Gianno@VegasHomeSource.com. And remember, on my toll-free line, the 888-528-2810, when you reach out to me, it's an American line because it's based in Las Vegas, USA. So it's going to be in English, but have no fear. If you don't want to leave me a voice message, that's okay. Just make sure you email me, because I can't do text on my toll-free line. So it's either a voicemail or email. But either way, we'll get a hold of you, and I will personally speak with you, so don't worry about that. Now, on with the show, we're going to do our mailbag round, because I have a lot of questions, but I did pick out the top 4 because I think it's important. It's actually kind of interesting. A lot of people, again, we're end of the year now here, so, and like I said, it's always great to be back home and back east. And when you're looking around, I mean, obviously Manhattan in New York City is primarily commercial. We do have a lot of high-rise here, and we do have a lot of apartment living. Townhouse living is also awesome in certain areas, whether it's downtown in the Village or on Sutton Place and Midtown East, Upper East Side, West Side, what have you. It's just a lot of things are happening in this city. But for the purposes of coming over here, when you're in New York City, I can tell you right now, there are great deals. I do know that for people that are looking to rent an apartment here, I do know that right now that there's a lot of noise being stirred, because normally what happens in New York City when you are looking for an apartment and you're looking to rent, actually the tenant has to pay their broker, as opposed to other cities where the landlord is paying the broker fees. In New York City, right now, and as they've done for a while, they have the tenant paying the broker fees, and they want to pass that broker fee from the tenant on to the landlord. So we'll see how that plays out. I know that's been a really hot topic here in the city, but for the questions that I get are basically more of a broader picture. So I want to jump right in because I got my first question, which is an interesting one, is from Susan Y from San Francisco. And Susan writes in, are there any new down payment programs for 2025 or what we call DPA, which is down payment assistance program? And actually, Susan, I got to be honest, I was actually brought to my attention that there is a company in California, in SoCal, that is doing an FHA, and get a load of this, folks, 101.5%. And no, I'm not talking about a radio station because we have radio stations at 101.5, but 101.5%, which basically means zero down FHA conforming loan. Now, this is crazy, crazy, crazy because we haven't seen any zero downs in quite a long time. But in this instance, there's only one company that's doing it out here through my lender. So I'm going to give you the specs of it. But then, obviously, for more info, please reach out because the company is basically launching this. They've launched it already about a month ago, brand new. So the specs on this, Susan, is with FHA, most states going up to 2025, the FHA limit is going to be 806,500, right? So 806,500. Now, other states such as New York, New Jersey, Washington, Virginia, Hawaii, Colorado, California, and Alaska, folks, they're going up FHA to 1.2 million. So think about buying a house anywhere up to 1.2 million. But in this case, for Las Vegas, where I'm at, Phoenix, also where I'm servicing, $806,500 as a zero down, where you're going to get two loans. It's going to be, the first one is 96.5%, and then you're going to have the other one at 5%, which basically equals the 101.5. So what does that mean? That means that your first is basically going to be sold off when you do the loan. The second, the company is going to service it. So, but in the meantime, if you can get the seller to pay closing costs, now you come out with a truly zero down program where you're paying nothing up front and you're getting the seller to pay title and escrow fees at closing. And folks, this is a super deal. I mean, come out of the gates right now and to put zero down and basically have a first and a second where they're going to be combined in. And here's the best. It's for single family. It's for duplex. It's for triplex and fourplex. So you can get loans with that. And in addition, there's no debt to income ratio restrictions. And also, I was told that you can have a co-signer that's either going to occupy or not occupy. It's a 15-year first, 10-year second. And on the interest, it's going to be 2 points higher on the second because obviously it's a lower amount. It's only 5% of the price. And again, 680 credit score or better. So you have to get with me. Let me get you in touch with my personal lender. If you love this program, again, they service nationwide. So if you're working with a realtor in the state that you're in, no problem. Contact me. I'll get you in touch with my lender. My lender then in turn can get in touch with your realtor that you're working with and knock out of the ballpark because I think this is absolutely phenomenal. And again, you're not going to find a 101.5 rate out there right now. Certainly, you're not going to get that from the bank. So, great question. Again, contact me on this loan. And again, it's an FHA conforming loan, down payment assistance for a second. That's a skinny of that there. We can get into that detail when you get a hold of me. So, thank you for that question, Susan. My second question is from Cleo H. in my hometown of Las Vegas. And she asks, are people buying houses with crypto? Well, that's another interesting topic, and I wanted to bring that out because you're seeing a lot of, excitement with what's going on with Bitcoin going over 100,000, and just a lot of these other tokens coming out, Doge, if I'm saying that right, with Elon Musk's token that they're trying to get up and going and get that excitement level. But Bitcoin, I remember when I was practicing real estate back in gosh, it was probably like the early 2000s. Somebody was trying to buy Bitcoin back then and had a property here in Las Vegas that was about 7 million, and somebody wanted to buy it with crypto. They didn't even know what that was and turned it away. But I can tell you that the forecast, you're going to see a lot more people taking cryptocurrency, converting it, and then using that to purchase property. So it's not so much, Cleo, where people are buying single family properties or commercial properties per se with actual digital coin crypto and doing a swap out. So for real property and then take my digital coin. If they're doing that, that's great. I mean, that depends upon the volatility, because if somebody's giving up their home for a Bitcoin, let's say, and the coin drops, well, there goes your value. In the meantime, that person picked up the property and now they have real tangible real estate. However, on the exchange, crypto is actually taxable, but there's ways to write that off, right? Because in life, there's always ways to write things off. But a lot of people need to know that with crypto, if you are going to exchange it and you go through your accommodator or your accountant or whoever you're using, please keep in mind, folks, that there will be some type of taxable situation, or what we call taxable event. But you talk to your CPA, figure out how you can get the benefits of a write off. And then when you exchange that to cash, then you turn around, you can use that to purchase property wherever you want to buy. So, yes, you can purchase property with crypto. Have I seen that right now? No, but I do believe that in 2025, you're going to start seeing a slow uptick of that. And basically, folks, for the conversion, in case you're wondering what they're taxing on, so it's basically the proceeds minus the cost that you bought the Bitcoin, then less your expenses, and then that's the actual tax that you're getting taxed on. So keep that in mind. And great question. I appreciate that. And midway through the show, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Woof, I can't believe it. And we'll be right back after these commercial messages.
Are you looking to go up? Is vertical the new horizon for you? Then Gianno can get you high in the sky, literally and figuratively. Gianno has the knowledge and relationships with properties of high-rise, mid-rise, and low-rise, whichever you prefer. Call Gianno and let him get you into that penthouse view no matter what floor you are on. In Vegas, the smart choice is the right choice with Gianno, and if you are looking for beachfront and or ocean view, going oceanside with Cabo G will have you seeing for miles and miles in Mexico, where the sea is endless and the beach is within walking distance for you. Remember, Gianno is your go-to realtor, but more important, he is your go-to guy.
Hey, thank you so much. We're going through the back end of Getting Home Source with G, as I'm your host, Gianno. So thank you for listening. We got some really intriguing questions, so I wanted to bring up two more that I have to try to get in. And the third question is from Vinny B from Cabo San Lucas, another second my hometown, right? Since I'm also licensed in Cabo as well. And Vinny B writes, will there be any other bank or financial institutions in 2025 that will give better rates for expats than what's available for offer right now, other than seller carry? Well, obviously, you're going to start seeing a lot of seller carries down there because with Cabo, different market than it is here in the United States, especially in the Vegas market and the Arizona market, which I service. But yes, you will see that. I'm actually working closely with a institution. That's going to be a big secret until next month, so I can't really comment any more than that. But I will say, yes, there will be another opportunity for expats, Canadians, Americans, basically Euros. This is going to be an open program, folks, for everybody that either lives in the U.S., Canada, Mexico, and outside around the world to have the opportunity to purchase in Mexico. I do know right now that the Mexico finance rates are like 9% and up. I do know that Bank Mafel down there does a 6.875%, but think of that more as a bridge loan. So you're paying 8.25% for a bridge, and they want you to put at least 50% down. So for right now, it is primarily a cash market, but help is on the way, and I can guarantee you we are going to beat 9%, no question about that. And the loan that's coming out will not be a bridge. So I appreciate that question, Vinny or Vincent. And so just hang in there. It's going to get better next year. I promise you that. And we're going to come out of the gates with breaking news when That is all official. Now we have a question from Robin O from Palm Beach, Florida. So Robin writes, with the Florida area having HOA and insurance coverage problems, do you see other states and cities expecting the same type of issues that we are experiencing here in Florida? And the answer to that question, Robin, is yes. So right now, we do have issues, especially in Vegas. As I mentioned, HOAs are a big issue right now where they are raising and in most cases doubling their cost already onto people due to either litigation. They're doing also for reserves because their reserves are low. They may have to put money into rehab, whether it be a high rise or they have to do a community. It could be a community pool. Whatever the case might be, whatever their cost factor is, they do have to show you a budget to show you where the money's being spent, not so much for what they call quote unquote management fees, which could be a raise in salary of people. So then they go ahead and they start doubling their HOA fees. So you have to look into that. Now, as far as with the home insurance, yes, that's also a problem too. There are a lot of major companies that are pulling out of key states like California, here in Nevada, obviously Florida. You have East Coast. A lot of them are primarily for flood, also for fire, earthquake. A lot of the ones that are getting hammered with natural disaster type situations are the ones that they're not covering. So people are pretty much on their own. And also with high-rise living, if you're in an older building, obviously the HOAs are really going after people to basically pay for rehabbing. Could be a 30, 40-year-old building, right? So you have to be careful when you're looking at high rises. You have to be careful when you're looking at communities that you're living in certain states. Really, really find out. Call the HOAs. Find out what they're doing and find out what they're raising. If they had any litigations, are they low on reserves? Do they have to put more money in? Do they have a surplus? So, because sometimes they have a reserve of a reserve. So it's important to find that out. But great question. But yes, again, I do foresee a lot of issues going on with insurance companies. They basically had to pay out a lot of money over the last couple of years. And HOAs, same thing. They just came out of nowhere and they're doing a full court press, trying to do a money grab as fast as they can. So we have to watch out for that. But with that being said, I will say that in Las Vegas, another stat that I came across today was the fact that since 2022, investors have bought 140,000 properties here in Las Vegas, whether to flip or to hold and rent. 140,000 homes in 2 years. That, my friends, tells you that the Vegas market is prime for investors. It's prime for purchase. I know a lot of people like to flip. We're going to talk about that in another show. But I do believe that for people that are looking at an income producing property or passive income, Vegas is a strong market for that. I also believe, and I'm a strong proponent of Mexico. I keep telling people, not because I'm down there and I'm working down there, but you see a lot of money getting pushed into Mexico. That's why with the feds, they're doing that FinCo, where a Texas judge put an injunction in that to stop the presses right now. But it's pretty much too late because everybody's already put their information in for corporations to see who owns the corporations, because we have a lot of money laundering problems that are going on in the U.S. And now they're starting to try to crack down. But they're not going after the big boys with high volume, high employees. They're going after the small people because that's where they think they can kind of catch people. So, but yes, there is a lot of money that's getting pushed out of the states and going into Mexico. And like I said, Mexico is a very viable, safe investment to purchase. And you don't have to deal with, a lot of the nonsense that you have the restrictions where you purchase up here for, whether it be short-term rental or if you want to build something, have to go through a whole bunch of HOAs and what have you. Very, very safe, very convenient. And it's really, really not as difficult as people think. And most importantly, it's safe. So I want people to know that. So with that being said, I can't believe it. We're out of time. This is where has the time gone? But you know what, folks? Don't worry. We're going to come back with a fresh show next week. We're going to do our Christmas spectacular, and then we're going to follow that up with our New Year's Eve spectacular, where I will give my Cabo G, New York City G, and Vegas G predictions on what I see that's going to happen here in 2025 and what I expect to see happen. But until that time frame, I want to say thank you so much for listening. I want you to have a great time. Again, I'm going to be here live in New York City. Contact me. You're going to love it. The weather here is brisk. It's perfect. Nighttime is like upper 30s, low 40s. And during the daytime, I love it. It's going to be in the mid to low 50s. This is what I long for. Rather than 100-degree heat here in the summertime in Las Vegas, I got to get my New York groove on. That's what we're doing. So until then, folks, God bless. Love you. Have a great week. New York City Live. Come check me out. 702-528-2810. And toll-free G, 888-528-2810. Thank you so much. God bless. Take care. Talk to you next week.